The Rose Drop Podcast. A podcast about the Bachelor franchise.
Welcome to the Rose Dropped Podcast, a podcast about the TV show franchise, The Bachelor. My name is Kendall, and this is my mom, Cheryl.
Hi.
I call her Mom, but you may call her Cheryl. Or Miss Cheryl.
Cheryl's good.
Okay.
Miss Cheryl. I like Miss Cheryl.
Miss Cheryl. Okay. And today we are going to be talking about the cocktail party. Now, briefly, before we get into it, the cocktail party is a fun little thing where everybody goes in and is limited to 2 drinks. It's right before the rose ceremony, and it's kind of your last shot. So without further ado, let's talk about the cocktail party. And I will begin by asking the question, what is a bachelor cocktail party?
Well, it's actually a pre-rose ceremony, time for one-on-one discussions with access to the lead, and kind of serves as a checkpoint to build connections and see where the contestants stand with the lead. And it's a little less structured than a date environment. And then at the first cocktail party of each season, the lead will present the person of their choice with a first impression rose. So that's a big deal because, they've done an analysis of, who makes it all the way to the end, who gets a first impression rose, and odds are good. So Anyway, that's basically what it is.
Yes. As I was saying, the FIP. So first impression rose. The FIP.
Yes.
Bachelor Lingo 101. Okay, and then what typically happens at a cocktail party?
Well, the contestants take turns pulling aside the lead to talk to them one-on-one, and then the rest of the contestants are usually around a couch or around some furniture or outside or whatever, and they're talking with each other. Conversations become more personal, more intentional with the lead, and time is really limited, so there's kind of a subtle competition, sometimes not so subtle, but typically a subtle competition on who gets the time with the lead to talk to him or her during that time frame.
Do they always have a cocktail party, or do they sometimes have variations of the cocktail party?
Sometimes a cocktail party is canceled if the lead knows what they want to do.
Right.
That's often the case. Or if they're mad or confident in their choices, they can be dramatic. And so sometimes, the rose ceremony is very dramatic, and the cameraman or woman lingers on the contestants each time, and you're like, you hold your breath. Famously, there was cocktail parties that were canceled because the lead, example, Claire Crowley, had decided early on that Dale Moss was going to be her winner, so she just canceled cocktail parties, and in fact her season ended early, and they brought in Tayshia Adams to replace her because she picked Dale Moss so early.
And we see how that worked out. Not great. Okay.
Not great.
But it's okay to cancel a cocktail party if you're mad.
It's okay to cancel a cocktail party.
If you don't feel like it.
And sometimes
atypical.
They're not feeling it, the lead is not wanting to do it. So.
Sometimes they do cookout or tailgate cocktail party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of trashy. I'm not trying to eat a hot dog but I do want to get in the pool as many times as possible, which is a huge foul. Huge foul during a cocktail party, I must say, but
you don't want to do that.
Why not?
Typically you have on an evening dress, so I would think that that's not something that you'd want to destroy your $300 or $400 or $500 dress, but it's just me.
What is a good thing someone can do at a cocktail party?
They can try to make their time meaningful with the lead. That's the time to get in there,
Right.
and show your personality and try to deepen the connection and be confident but respectful, to others. Not everyone is. So I think the lead can kind of assess contestants during that time frame. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. You also don't want to
Okay.
not talk to the lead. Like, you don't want to be too
No, you
overbearing,
don't want to
but you
not
don't
talk
wanna-
to the lead. No.
You have to say, "Can I steal you for a minute?"
Right.
Right.
And some are annoyingly so, right? They come up
Right.
many times and try to steal and that kind of thing. So
It's like
anyway,
in 30 seconds.
that's where you see some competition come into play.
Yes. What would you consider a cocktail party foul play?
For me, that would be when somebody tries to take too much time with the lead. Sometimes you'll see somebody going back in again and want to talk to the lead. They'd already spoken with them, or they just came off a one-on-one date and they want to grab the lead and the other people haven't had a chance to talk to them. Continuously interrupting, creating drama for attention, those types of things. And it seems like every season and every cocktail party that happens.
People used to get hammered at the cocktail party.
Not anymore. They have a 2-drink limit now, from what I understand.
Maybe they should up it to 4.
Why should they do that?
I don't know.
That doesn't seem like a good idea. You might have more people in the pool than you want at that point.
But I'm saying, like, that would be kind of fun. Not that I drink alcohol. I'm just saying.
No,
like,
you don't. So I'm not really understanding this one.
Maybe I just want people to get in the pool with me. Okay.
I'm sure there's people that don't care that much about winning that will get in the pool with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Night one, you probably don't want to get in the pool.
Are we talking about a rose ceremony here?
We're talking about the cocktail party prior to the rose ceremony. Like, you probably don't want to get in the pool. I guess you don't want to be standing there all wet during the rose ceremony.
No. This is where people, they bring suitcases full of nice clothes to wear to these things. This isn't a pool party, typically.
But it's by a pool.
Yeah, you can swim in the pool when he's out on a date with somebody else. How about that?
What about
I think
dip your feet in the pool? Is that fun at the cocktail party?
Yeah, I think you would be remembered for sure. That would be a lasting impression.
What if you've already had
I could see at the very end the gentleman saying, "I picked Kendall because she wasn't afraid to put her feet in the pool in a formal gown." That's what pushed me over the edge.
What's a good fabric to use if you want to get in the pool on a cocktail?
We'll say a
party?
vinyl dress, okay? This is an odd line of questioning here. Okay.
Swimming shoes, valid. What happens at the end of the cocktail party? Okay, let me redo that. Okay.
Okay.
What happens at the end of the cocktail party?
Well, at the end of the cocktail party, it transitions to the rose ceremony. And that's when everyone stands out on the risers, and the lead makes decisions on who stays and who goes. And the contestants who don't get roses say their goodbyes to the other people and they go home. So depending on where they are on the, which episode they're on, they typically just hug and say goodbye, but toward the end, the lead usually escorts the contestants out, or if they were starting to get particularly close to them or something, they'll escort them out.
What do you think somebody can do if they're going home? They know they're going home at the cocktail party. Do you think that there's any salvaging it?
Well, I have seen people, asked to speak during the rose ceremony, step forward and ask to speak to the lead by themselves. and taken the lead off by themselves and talked to them. I don't know, it's hard to say whether has successfully worked, because even if they did stay, maybe they were going to stay anyway. But yes, I have seen that happen in the past.
Can you think of any specific, like, bad things that have happened at a cocktail party that you can remember?
Sometimes it seems a little too often with some of the contestants. They get in kind of a war of words with each other, and it turns into a little bickering match and carries over, and the lead finds out and has to ask about it and that kind of thing. That's never good. And then also, kind of watched over the years that sometimes some of the contestants during their one-on-one discussions during this time, they will talk poorly about someone else, or say, I know someone who's not here for the right reasons, or,
Right.
There is somebody spreading rumors about, and then the lead then it inevitably upsets the lead, and then they try to drill down to find out who it is, and then when they find out who it is, that person gets mad at the person so that leads to all kinds of drama that sometimes lasts episodes.
You don't want to be the snitch. For the most part, you
don't want to be a snitch.
Let the lead find it out themselves.
Exactly.
Yes.
We don't see snitches doing that well.
No, they don't.
Typically.
Both of them look bad.
That's exactly right. So, I would not recommend that to anybody.
And then also another thing that people do is, like, pull out the player tragedy card as, like, a last-ditched effort. Like, by the way,
sure.
Like, this terrible thing happened to me. Like, trying to make the lead feel bad.
Yeah.
I can think of a specific example that was true, but it was inappropriate timing, or as we call it in rhetoric, kairos.
Kairos.
You have to have the right timing.
I'll be using that tomorrow.
Okay, yes, kairos. You have to have the right timing. You don't want to bring up something very personal about yourself at the cocktail party that goes too far. On Hannah Brown's season, when Cam was at the tailgate cocktail party and then brought up the fact that he might have to get his limbs amputated, which actually ended up happening and being true. But at the time, it came across really not well because bad time, like not the
timing
right time.
of it.
It seemed manipulative. But then it ended up being true. And Cam, I know that you have since moved on with your life, and you are a beautiful person.
Done
ABC.
well for himself. Yes.
Yes. ABC, always be Cam. Okay. All right, Mom. Well, I'll wrap this John up. Is there anything you would like to add about the cocktail party before we make our exit?
Well, I think part of the sport for us, and I mean us being our immediate family of me, you, and your sister, we like looking at the fashion during the rose ceremonies, and often the attire, I'm speaking specifically of the women, the attire, sometimes there are Instagrammers who will post what they're wearing and where they bought it and how much it costs. And I enjoy that tremendously.
Yes.
But I do like looking at all of the fashion and, the shoes and just all of that. So that's really fun part of the rose ceremony, just seeing what they're going to come out in.
What do you think is a fashion faux pas at the cocktail party?
I think just something that's inappropriate.
Right.
Maybe not very classy, maybe a little too revealing or ill-fitting. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money to have something that fits well.
Right.
But I do know that it's very expensive and that they do have to take a lot of dresses with them. And, some people may be borrowing. I mean, I remember Leslie Fema, who was on The Golden Bachelor, said that she was borrowing clothes from people and that kind of thing. So it's hard to get those things tailored or whatever. But I just think that, you could get something for a good price and look really great and age appropriate.
Yeah, you don't want to get too hoochie mama with it, especially golden.
I was gonna say that. I just don't use those words often, but that's
it's pretty much what it is.
Again, it's pretty much what it is.
And honestly, the rose ceremony outfits on Bachelor in Paradise are pretty bad. Like,
well, that's a whole other level of game right there.
Right.
And, they're in a tropical environment, so they tend to wear more, more beachy type of wear.
I think you can...
That kind of has a whole different vibe.
It does, but you shouldn't wear anything that you would wear at a Bachelor in Paradise cocktail party at a Bachelor Mansion cocktail party. That's...
Yeah, I don't think they translate that well. No.
No.
I agree with you.
Work on it. Be classy. Also... Be
classy.
The color matters, right? Like
ABC, always be classy.
ABC, always be classy. That might be our new thing. Okay. I love you, Mom.
Love you too. Thank you for inviting me to be on your show.
Thank you, and thank you for watching the Rose Drop. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You deserve it to subscribe to the Rose Drop. The bell will let you know when the Rose drops. Hit that hype to send our video to the top. Please come and go ahead and drop your thoughts. Accept this rose, hit the bell so you don't miss an episode of the Rose Pod.